Hi everybody, it's Poetry Thursday, and it's a Poetry Thursday in the month of October, when Victober is happening. So my guess is that Dr. Jennie is going to read us a poem from the Victorian years.
You guess correctly.
Whoop.
I am going to read a poem by Christina Rossetti called In an Artist's Studio. One face looks out from all his canvases. One self-same figure sits or walks or leans. We found her hidden just behind those screens. That mirror gave back all her loveliness. A queen in opal or in ruby dress, a nameless girl in freshest summer greens, a saint, an angel. Every canvas means the same one meaning, neither more nor less. He feeds upon her face by day and night, and she, with true kind eyes, looks back on him, fair as the moon and joyful as the light, not one with waiting, not with sorrow dim, not as she is, but was when hope shone bright, not as she is, but as she fills his dream. There you go.
It's quite a hard read, really,
It
isn't
is,
it? I mean,
yeah. I think it's terrific.
So what made you choose that one?
Well, you told me to. You said.
Yeah, you fill my dream.
Read a Victorian poet, and you said had I ever read Goblin Market?
Oh yeah, Goblin Market.
And I looked at Goblin Market, and it's like the length of a 3-volume novel. But I was flicking through,
and surprisingly squelchy in places.
Is it? Oh. Well, now I was looking through a website called Poetry Foundation, which is fantastic, and I found this one, and I read it through, and I thought, I see what you did there, mate. Because Christina Rossetti was Dante Gabriel Rossetti's sister, one of his sisters. So there were 2 boys and 2 girls in the family. So she would have seen Dante Gabriel Rossetti's studio, and probably the studios of a lot of the other pre-Raphaelite painters. So she was one of the invisible pre-Raphaelite women, really. And what she says is actually true, that Rossetti, the painter, painted the same woman over and over again.
Okay, so it was literally the same person, not just the face, because there is a sort of idea of a pre-Raphaelite face.
Yes, and I think she's kind of critiquing that.
Yeah.
So she's saying, so the model was Lizzie Siddal.
Yeah.
Who was a model quite popular in the pre-Raphaelite circle. And she's saying he doesn't paint her. He paints his vision of her. She's wasting away, effectively. I don't know, she might have had consumption. I know she took she was the model who lay in the bath of water so that Millet could paint the death of Ophelia.
Yeah.
And she caught a really bad case of I think it turned into pneumonia. So that I'm pretty sure she died young, but don't quote me on anything. Yeah,
I do remember this. And she did die of laudanum overdose.
Right.
So. But you don't need to know that to read the poem.
No, you don't.
To it.
It's easy to read. It's not subtle.
I mean, he feeds upon her face, that sort of vampiric.
Yeah.
Rather disgusting image, and also by day and night, so it's going on and on and on.
And this list of things that he paints her as: a queen, a nameless girl, a saint, an angel, not as she is, but as she fills his dream. So he dreams of her in all these exalted states where she
Yeah.
presumably is addicted to laudanum
Well,
at some
yeah,
point,
yeah.
and not in good health. And she's having the life sucked out of her.
That's the way the poem works.
Yeah, yeah. By him, basically, to fulfill his needs, his fame, I mean, that's what happens with muses. They never get the credit. They're a bit like women who work as conjurers' assistants, stage magicians' assistants. They pretty much do most of the work in a lot of the tricks that involve them, but they never get the credit for it because they're just a pretty bit of fluff in the leotard with the legs out and
Being
that.
sawn in half.
Being sawn in half, but
Night after night,
I know
sawn
it's
in
the
half.
fact that woman can bend herself into
invisible.
a half of the box that allows him to be able to saw her in half. So it's the powerless behind the throne, basically, is what they are. They're not anything except this dream figure that he chooses to make his fame from. Damn him! And she's quite... she's biting about that.
Yeah.
And I don't...
And she did stuff herself. So while you were talking, I wandered off.
You did.
Not
You
'cause I
wandered
wasn't
off.
interested,
I saw you.
But when you mentioning muses, I bought a book called Muse by Ruth Millington.
Muses.
And it does in fact have a section about Elizabeth Siddal,
Oh, cool.
which points out that she was artist, poet and performing model. So her gaze was coming back, but is, a lot
That's
less.
kind of been expunged
Well, yeah. Certainly not.
for a long time.
If you ask someone in the street to name three Raphaelite painters, they probably wouldn't get as far as
Yeah. It's the same as the women artists who produced things like tapestries and pots in the pre-Raphaelite style. They're completely dismissed because that's not art, it's craft. And it's women's. Women make pretty pots, sew lovely cushions, make great tapestries, but it's not art.
Because art has to be the framed stuff in galleries.
Yeah, art is painting and sculpture, and to a lesser extent drawing. And it kind of there's a pretense that it has an originality about it that craft doesn't have, which of course is not true. So, I'm glad I didn't read Goblin Market because it's so long.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that you forcing me to, as if you could force me to do anything.
Well, I stand by the fireplace with my mutton chop whiskers and issue my masculine edicts.
And I'll sit there and laugh in your face.
The angel in the house. Okay, that's probably enough of that. Victorian Me Too poem. Yes. Okay, so you
I'll
goodbyes.
Stop now, shall I? Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. It's lovely to see you, even though I can't. Mind how you go. Keep out the off-road. Take no bread poultice, that's what I say. Jar a bit.
Bye.